today's episode, we're talking about the purpose and why principles. The why principles, I'm a fan of Simon Sinek. If you haven't watched him, I recommend that, and I'll pull up his YouTube video a little bit later. And because that kind of defines why we build products, and not why we build products, but why we buy products, and not what they're for. So you might have a cell phone, and you buy that cell phone, but why are you buying that specific brand? And I think we have why principles about the way that we live as well, and why we do things. So I'll be going over that as well. In the meantime, thank you for tuning in. I wanna express some thanks to 3 individuals right now. The first is my wife. She's been such an amazing inspiration to me in the last few years, and just I really appreciate all of her support. And if you watch this right now, I love you so much, and I thank you for all the years supporting me in my ventures, and always believing in me and never giving up on me. And that's truly inspiring to me, and it's something that I wish to give to a lot of people, because I think a lot of people don't start their ideas because they lack that encouragement, they lack that inspiration, or generally they're just discouraged by society. Society tells them they can't do something, or you need to get a degree to get a good job, and that may be the case in a lot of situations, but in a lot of other situations it's not the case. And I think there is definitely a boundary line there that needs to be realized, and there's some communication that needs to be discussed of how to talk to people about these subjects, and when it's an advantage to go to school, and when it's a disadvantage to go into debt to pursue a career. So that being said, thank you, Valerie, for always being my rock. My next person that I want to thank is actually one of my biggest partners in crime. He's a brother to me. He's on this viewership right now, and it's Nico. He's been a huge support to me these past few years, and helping me launch some of these businesses that I'm talking about, and as well just as a friend in times of need. So thank you, Nico, for all your support. The last person that I want to mention is someone that I just met, and someone that inspired this whole thing to take off. So let me just pull up his social media to give him a shout out here, because he's been such a huge inspiration to me in starting this. And I think he's part of a new group of people called indie makers. So he's at twitter.com/ThePatWalls. And Pat Walls, he is a full-time maker, and he built a website called Starter Story that discovers the stories behind successful e-commerce businesses. He's also sharing his progress as he builds and launches startups on Twitch live. And what he does the way that he does this is he says, I'm going to launch a startup in 24 hours. And some people will hate on him and give him crap because he's not technically launching a startup, he's not doing the user research and all of that. He's just solving a problem, and I think it comes down to semantics, really. So I applaud Pat Walls. I thank you, Pat Walls, for inspiring me to kind of launch the Trusty Businessman at this point in time, and just kind of get off my butt and get it started. So those are the 3 people that I wanted to thank today, and I'm going to try to be very intentional about thanking several people. Definitely give these people a follow on Twitter or whatever social media platform that they use when I mention them, and give them a shout out, because they're definitely worth it. And obviously I'm subscribed to his Twitch and follow along when he's building new products, and it's really cool and exciting to see that. So thanks, Pat Walls. There's a really good book called The Purpose-Driven Life, and this is a really helpful book to not only discover your purpose in life, but also to help you get aligned to where you are putting your energy each day. And so in combination with The Purpose-Driven Life, I also read 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, another popular book, and those two combined helped me to identify purpose as a kind of overarching life goal, and then breaking that down to daily goals. So I want to, purpose is something that I kind of tie into intuition, and when you have like an intuition into what you want to do in life, but maybe it's not always the most realistic thing to do. I think sometimes the things that society tells you, oh, that's not really a rational idea, sometimes are the things that you actually have to lean into. Those are generally the more fearful things, and we got a question here. Those are generally the more fearful things, and those are the opportunities for you to step into faith when it comes to, do you take a leap of faith and start a business when you have maybe, a 40-hour-a-week job already and you're kind of struggling to find time? Those are faith-based leaps, I should say. It says, how do you deal when you wake up without energy? My biggest problem is to start working and then I wake up without energy sometimes. So this is actually a really big problem for a lot of people, and it comes down to making sure your body is in the right stasis. I don't know if homeostasis is the right word, but the body is like an engine, and when you feed it the right things, it will perform the right way. But with society feeding us all processed foods, we don't immediately have energy all the time. So one thing that I'm doing lately is fasting, and fasting is known to be a kind of bad term because people think that you have to have 3 meals a day every day, or otherwise you're starving. And I think that's just what society has conditioned us to believe. But people have been fasting for ages, and when you fast, your body is burning the calories that you have on you, and we hoard calories on us. And when we're eating, we're taking our energy away from our mind, our body, and we're letting it work on our gut. And when the energy is working on our gut, we're not able to focus on what we're doing. So that's why sometimes you'll wake up with brain fog, or you'll wake up not focused. Try fasting for 24 hours, and you'll see that you have more energy, you don't need coffee. And then try fasting for 3 days, and eventually your cravings will start going away, and you'll start experiencing more sustained energy. Obviously you have bouts of feeling really lethargic. This is, of course, predicted, and you can read about these things. But when you fast, you're actually taking, you're giving your body more opportunity to give your brain energy instead of working on your gut. So you're relaxing your gut. In addition to that, defining your purpose and living your purpose every day gives you a lot more energy. When you wake up with purpose of, first you're saying, I'm thankful for this, this, and this. And then, my purpose for my life is to do this. So I'm making sure that I'm doing something that's related to that purpose every day. That's really, really helpful. I want to just stress how important it is to wake up every day and give thanks. A lot of people repeat this because it's very important to align your day. And when you align your day with being thankful, whether you believe in God or not, it's important to just put out that energy and set your mind right on what you're thankful for and what you have. And eventually you'll see that your days end up turning out to be much better because you're putting your mindset in a place of gratitude, not a place of pessimism. I was talking about purpose, and then I wanted to diverge a little bit to the why principles. So we're going to look at Simon Sinek for this, and the why principle. And he has a really great video here called How Great Leaders Inspire Action. And I highly recommend checking out this video. He goes over this circle, and he says that basically the what is the least important thing, but it's what people purchase. The how is how the product is built, and the why is the reason people are lining up outside the Apple store, for example, to purchase this product, which is just a cell phone, from ultimately a computer company. So it's really insightful to see how he relates that. What I want to do is take it one step further and say that each of us have a why principle about what we do on a daily basis. And if you look at, monotonous, minutia, not saying words that start with M, work that doesn't matter, you can get very lost in, what is it called? You can get very lost in the idea of I need to do something to stay productive, but at the end of the day, the thing that you were doing, the thing that you were wasting 8 hours on, is not tied to your why principle for your goal, and it's not tied to your purpose in life. So when you find out your purpose, you can better address your goals, better address why you need to do something, and then that breaks down the tasks a little bit easier, and then you get more energy actually to complete those tasks. So I think just breaking it down that way, and I'm going to walk you guys through that in just a little bit here. So be sure to follow me on Twitter here at TrustyBizman, and you'll get notifications when we're live. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.